Welcome, my dear colleagues. I am Dr. Moustafa Mahmoud. In this video, I will highlight one of the most beneficial diets for treatment of obesity, which is the ketogenic diet or keto diet. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more video updates. Benefits of ketogenic diet. Ketogenic diet improves diabetes through reduction of blood sugar and hemoglobin A1C levels, and reducing the risk of heart disease through lowering vascular inflammation and low-density lipoprotein cholesterol levels. Ketogenic diet is one of the most beneficial diets for treatment of obesity through reduction of body weight, body mass index, and fat mass content. Ketogenic diet, through lowering insulin resistance and improving androgen levels, is associated with improvement of fertility in women with polycystic ovary syndrome. The metabolic benefits of keto diet were proven in other various chronic conditions. This type of diet is considered the first line of treatment in patients with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. In patients with certain types of cancer, ketogenic diet slows tumor growth. Finally, the ketogenic diet showed beneficial effects in number of neurologic disorders, including Alzheimer's disease, Parkinsonian disease, and epilepsy. So, what is the ketogenic diet? It is a diet consists of high fat intake, moderate protein consumption, and low carbohydrates intake. The macronutrient content of ketogenic diet are 55 to 60% fat, 30 to 35% proteins, and 5 to 10% carbohydrates. How does ketogenic diet work? Due to low carbohydrates and high fat contents of keto diet, glucose availability drops and insulin secretion is leveled. As a result, a metabolic state called nutritional ketosis is amplified, where ketone bodies levels are still in physiologic range between 0.5 to 3 milligram per deciliter. The three main ketone bodies are acetoacetate, acetone, and 3-beta-hydroxybutyrate, which replace glucose to generate energy through production of ATP. There are several types of ketogenic diet according to its own macronutrient content and objectives. Here are the four most common types of ketogenic diet. The first diet is the most carbohydrates restrictive diet, which is the classic ketogenic diet, where it contains 90% fat, 3% carbohydrates, and 7% proteins. The classic ketogenic diet is typically 4 to 1 ratio of fats to combined protein and carbohydrates. The less carbohydrates restrictive with more allowance of protein is the modified ketogenic diet or modified Atkins diet, which is 60 to 70% fat, 3 to 10% carbohydrates, and 20 to 40% proteins. The ratio of fat to combined proteins and carbohydrates is less than 2 to 1. The medium-chain triglycerides ketogenic diet is a variation of ketogenic diet based on 73% of fat, 30 to 60% of that fat comes from medium-chain triglycerides oil like octanoic acid or caprylic acid, while carbohydrates represent 17% and proteins represent 10% of medium-chain triglycerides ketogenic diet, with fat to combined proteins and carbohydrates ratio is 4 to 1. The last type of ketogenic diet is the low glycemic index diet, where fats represent 60 to 70% and 10% of low glycemic index carbohydrates, while proteins represent 20 to 30% of low glycemic index ketogenic diet. What are the potential side effects of ketogenic diet? Adherence to ketogenic diet may cause some adverse effects. Ketogenic diet is a risk factor for kidney stones and a risk factor for increasing serum uric acid levels. Also, osteoporosis as a result of low calcium intake. Due to the restrictive nature of ketogenic diet, inadequate intake of essential vitamins may lead to nutrient deficiency. The high fat content and low fiber content of ketogenic diet can cause constipation, diarrhea, and abdominal bloating. The rapid weight loss with ketogenic diet also may lead to muscle loss. To comply with keto diet and achieve best benefits, patients should consider some important points. 3 points to be encouraged, which are adequate sleep, meals planning to help adherence, and intermittent fasting to improve weight loss. And 3 points to be avoided, which are electrolyte imbalance by eating enough sodium, potassium, and magnesium in the diet, stress to avoid weight regain, and dehydration by drinking water. And finally, 2 points to be understood, which are the basics of keto diet. That diet depends on high fat intake with low carbohydrate intake. And finally, the importance of healthcare professional communication. Here are some of keto-friendly foods that patients can eat. Low carbohydrates leafy vegetables like lettuce, spinach, and kale. Healthy keto fruits like avocados, lemons, and blackberries. Keto meats like lamb, beef, and chicken. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines. Keto seafoods like oysters, shrimp, and clams. Keto-friendly dairy products like butter, most of cheese, and ghee. Keto cooking oils like coconut oil, keto snacks like olives, and finally keto fiber supplements like cereal. It is important to note that keto diet is a low carbohydrates and high fat diet. For those who follow keto diet, some foods to be avoided or to limit portion sizes include refined carbohydrates like white bread, rice and pasta, beer and mixed drinks like beer, mixed liquor-based drinks and liquors, sugary foods like candy, soda and sugary cakes, starchy vegetables like potatoes and sweet potatoes and corn, high carbohydrate fruits like grapes, mango and bean apples, processed foods like biscuits, crisps, and energy drinks, grains like oats, high carbohydrate condiments like ketchup, milk and white chocolates, and finally sweetened yogurt and sweetened dairy products. Populations for which ketogenic diet is contraindicated include pregnancy, pancreatitis, advanced liver and kidney disease, type 1 diabetes, high serum uric acid, inborn errors of lipid metabolism, and enzyme deficiencies. To conclude my presentation, ketogenic diet is a low carbohydrates and high fat diet that puts the body in a metabolic state known as ketosis, where the body utilizes fat instead of carbohydrates for energy production. The diet is known to have some benefits such as weight loss, increased satiety, and decreased hunger between meals. Notable benefits of ketogenic diet was observed as early as 2 to 3 weeks of starting the diet. Also, long-term benefits are maintained for up 6 to 12 months. To avoid the drawbacks of ketogenic diet, it may be restricted for 3 to 6 months with a gradual migration to a Mediterranean or plant-based diet. Here we come to the end of today's video. Until we meet you again in a new video, thank you for watching and goodbye.